Hey, welcome back to another devlog of LogisticCity. And today I'll start by showing you my tasks. This is basically everything I want to do in the game, especially like P1, that's priority 1. And I'm thinking about playing the game again to see if the new house 4 is balanced. I also added a new research logic, so it changed. It's different from the last time I played. And there's also a lot of other changes in the game. So these are the tasks I want to do when playing the next game. I want to update the receipts and the research cost as I play, so I have an idea of what's balanced and what's not balanced. And these are the tasks I want to finish before I will do that. Some stuff here is just like important. It's not necessary. Like I want to add some variation to the terrain so it looks more natural. But it's okay if I can do something before I start my next run. But that's what I'll try, and that's what you'll probably see in the next devlog. I started working on a tutorial for the game so the user knows what they need to do initially. I was not sure how to do that, so I'm just using text for now. And I think it ended up looking pretty good in the end. So the first task I added was to mine iron ore and then to mine copper ore, so the user knows what they need to do initially. I end up changing that to something else later, but it's the same idea. Here you can see the one task to craft the smelter and then to smelt 10 iron plates and then to smelt 10 copper plates. Now I have another task to craft 30 conveyors and 6 inserters, so the user moves the items from the miner to the smelter. Here you can see me just doing that. And one of the last tasks is to craft a water tank and provide water for your residents. After some work I finished the first iteration of the tutorial, and it starts by asking you to mine 10 iron ore, and it tells you that you need to hold the right mouse button, then you need to mine 10 stone and 5 coal. Then it asks you to craft 1 smelter, and it asks you to smelt the iron ore that you got. Then it tells you to craft another smelter and smelt the copper plates. Then it asks you to craft a miner and to put it on a ore deposit. Then it asks you to smelt like 100 iron plates and 50 copper plates, so you have some backlog to craft the next items. And hopefully the user should add a few more smelters and miners. Then I change it to. Then I say the user that will automate ore smelting. So, and I also teach the user that they can use the control to craft 10 items and the control shift to craft the whole stack. Then I ask the user to craft conveyors and inserters. Then I tell the user to place the inserter on the miner and to connect it to the smelter. And then I have like 200 iron plates, so that hopefully the user did this. And then I also tell the user about the long inserter, so the user can get plates out of the smelter. Then I ask the user to create the 3 crafters and set them to copper, circuit, and frame, so the user automates frames initially. And I think 40 frames manually is a lot of items, so the user should probably automate it. Then we start working on the city, but to do that we also need roads, so I tell the user to create a mixer, a water pump, and pipes. Then I tell the user that they need to use the pipes to move fluids, and then I require them to craft concrete. Then they craft 2 starter houses and a few roads. Then the user places down the houses. Then the user has to create another water tank and a small warehouse. Then I tell the user about the warehouse and I check for 1 water production. Then I tell the user about the vegetable farm and I check for 1 vegetable production. Then I check that the user has 24 residents. That's 2 houses, level 1. Then I finally ask the user to place down 3 more houses, so we have 5 in total. and that's what you need to first to finish the first milestone, and that's when the tutorial ends. And then after this, you have that message that we show in the milestone complete screen. Another thing I did was to finish writing out the text for the milestone complete. So when you finish milestone 1, I tell you that you have the steam generator to generate electricity, and then that you can use L to open the research menu. So this acts like the rest of the tutorial for the game, and I wrote it for all the milestones we have in the game up to milestone 17 when you unlock the jury workshop. One thing I have never shown is me editing the videos, but I also have to do that. So here you can see the initial edit of this video. Here I'm talking about the tasks for the that I have here. I'm showing the tutorial. It requires a lot of cuts. Then I have one explaining the tutorial and one talking about milestones. I decided to work on something a bit different now. I want to add some more variation to my terrain. So I had this green color, this like dark gray. I added this yellowish green. I said gray, but it's green. And then I have this like light green. And right now I'm just using it randomly, but I want to use the purling noise to see if I can get some cool effects. This is my first attempt. It's looking much better in my opinion. We can see like some differences here. I still need to update the art, but overall we can see like these lines and we have like this. It looks natural. I think we have the other green one down here. I still need to balance the numbers. Here's what the new grass looks in the existing world. I think it looks pretty good. Like especially when you're walking around. Now if you walk around like there's some variation in the map background, and I think that already made a really big difference to the game. I can probably improve it a lot, but for now I think that's already a really good improvement to the game. I made a few changes to the game. I'm now drawing the fuel in the fuel slot so the user knows they have to put something here. I think that's not clear when you start the game. And I also changed the game, so let me see if I can show that. But now the initial resource capacity for your city is 1,000, not 4,000. It's going down very slowly, but you can see that garbage is not over 1,000 and energy is not over 1,000. And then there are two researches you can do. They increased the research capacity to 2,000 and then to 4,000. I added a lot of stuff to the game. So I added more warehouses. Right now you can see I have the small warehouse, but I also have the medium warehouse and the large warehouse. So the medium one is 2 by 2 instead of 1 by 1. And it also has a bigger radius. So let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, it has like, you can see the radius is 10 tiles compared to 5 tiles. And I think the big one is 20 tiles. So it's much bigger. And you unlock them later in the game. So you don't need as many smaller houses as you need in the beginning. Then I also made a change to drop the contents of a container when you break it. So you can see that when I break these crafters, I get all the content inside the crafter. So we are not voiding resource anymore. That happens to conveyors too, and to miners and like smelters. So now you get everything you had. I also added some text when you break the tile. So when you not any tile, it has to be an OR tile. So whenever you break OR tiles, you get that message. And I also fixed the issue that the tile doesn't move. This text does not move if you move. Before it would move. So like now if you copy or paste the settings, you can walk around and this text won't move. And I also redid the research menu. Now it has a scroll. I still need to fix the scroll bar, but right now you can see that I'm scrolling and then I can show all the researches I have. It was really cool to add this to the game. And I also changed tutorial. Now the tutorial has color, so you can see that items are blue and the machines are purple. So you can see like place down the miner and then like the conveyors, inserters, concrete, mixer, and I added a color. I think that helps. I wish I had a way to strike through the text, but the library doesn't support that. So for now, it will just be like some green text like this.